speak in timely and like really good, especially when you're just starting.
One of the cool things about my current situation as a long-time amateur video producer and a sometime hospital stayer is that when you're in a hospital and you want to do a moving shot with only one person, as usual, I have no crew. You just do this. Hi. Whoops. This feels a little low. Okay. To keep it going here, I wanted to tell another oral turn the television off, thank you. Another oral recitation. Okay. So we're still in the morning of May 18th. And I'm trying to get from St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Ballard down to Market Street and 22nd in Ballard, where the bus stop is. It's not very far. It may be an eighth of a mile total. 500 feet? Wow. But I was struggling all the way down there. Just to recap, I was on my way to my regular monthly appointment, checking with my regular with my doctor of PCP. I love that. And about halfway down, right in front of the, a little more than halfway, right in front of the cobbler shop that always has the cool Weimaraner. I think it has a Weimaraner, big gray short-haired dog, sleek like a greyhound. It's not a greyhound or a whippet. I think it's a Weimaraner. And I got there and I put my hands on my knees, and my brain said, "Hospital, Bob." And it was the serious voice. So at that point, I changed my goal for the morning, and that was to get. Well, the immediate goal hadn't changed. Was to get to the bus stop. But if I knew if I got to the bus stop that I would be not going to the 45th Street Clinic. I would be going to the emergency room at Swedish Hospital in Ballard at one stop. The bus driver I got down there. The bus driver took one look at me. He said, "Sit down." I said, "Yeah, I'm just going one stop." He said, "Yep." I got up to the stop, and from the stop to the front door of the emergency room is about 40 yards, maybe 120 feet. About 3/4 of the way through that, I saw a person a man in scrubs, a guy about maybe 30, seemed to, his carriage said, "I'm fairly together." And I said, "Excuse me, could you help me in?" And he said, "Sure." Came down, he took my arm and got me into the emergency room. And 10 minutes later, I was in the exam room, and a little background. I had been in the same emergency room about a week before with the same problem, but not nearly as bad. And by doing that, I had I was able to acquire the golden ticket, which is a referral, which gets you in to see a doctor the next day instead of 3 months from that. And had seen my new vascular surgeon, Dr. Tan. She is a wonderful woman. Okay, so I saw Dr. Tan. This would have been the week before, so somewhere around the 11th or 12th. Yes, I saw her in her office on the 12th, and I saw one of her associates, who happens to be her sister, the day before to have an ultrasound on my leg, and her sister was one of the most fascinating, wonderful people that I've ever met. And I'm digressing, but that's okay. That's the way these go. These are oral histories. These are one take, one time. I don't have an outline. All I got is memory. So as she's doing the ultrasound and we're talking, she's a fascinating accent. She's a China. I profiled her to be of Chinese descent, and I quickly got the idea that she had been born in China, and China was Chinese Mandarin was her first language, and she had learned English not on the British Isles, not in England or Scotland or Ireland, but in a British territory or an area of the world where they spoke British, but wasn't Britain, wasn't Great Britain. And I felt like I had a connection with this woman, and so at some point I said that. I said, I have to take a shot at your accent because it's so cool. And I said, you were born in China, and that's where you learned to speak. And when you learned English, you learned it not in Great Britain, but a British colony or something. And she looked at me and she went, "You're the first person that ever got that right." And she never did say exactly where, but she said no to Hong Kong. She said no to South Africa. She's kind of when I said South Africa. So I'm not sure exactly where, but I was right. And later on in that discussion, we were talking about Dr. Tan, who I had not met at this point. And I said, yeah, I had surgery last year. Dr. I can't remember his name. Dr. what's his name was did that, and Dr. Johansson. But I wasn't surprised when I was scheduled to see Dr. Tan, because somewhere I heard that Dr. So-and-so was about to retire. She went, "How do you know these things?" Sorry. I can't do her accent. She said with surprise, "How do you know these things? That's two things that you shouldn't know that you did." I'm pretty sure I heard him say it. He said, "No, even..." Anyway, it was a great experience, and I will always think fondly of that hour of time. The next day, I saw Dr. Her sister told me at some point, I didn't know they were sisters at this point, that, "You see Dr. Tan tomorrow, she's very scary. She's scary." She's been known to tell people if they don't smoke, she will cut off their fingers. Okay. You know, but that's cool. When I met Dr. Tan, so I think I was, it was like whoever warms up Jimmy Fallon's audience, they need warming up. You know, her sister had got me ready to be receptive to the things that Dr. Tan was going to say to me. And Dr. Tan proceeded to, I gotta check, make sure the camera's on. See, that's what it is about that. To explain to me in a way that I understood and that I respected and that I let sink in that she was going to do this surgery that I needed to have done, and it was going to be a major surgery. It was no longer going to be an angioplasty situation. It was going to be cut me open and fix me. That she would do it, and we had caught it soon enough that she would be able to fix me up good as new. But if I continued to smoke, that I would be back in her office in 90 days, and she might refuse to treat me. Yeah, I don't know, ethically illegal that she could go that far, but it got through to me, and then she said, you know, so she hit me hard, you know, but then she said, and you know what? If you don't smoke, and she said, you can use an electronic cigarette all you want. You can't smoke pot anymore, by the way, but you can vaporize on that too, as long as you don't smoke. It's not the nicotine, it's not the carcinogens, it's not anything else in the cigarettes or any of the ingredients in the pot. It's the smoke. So if you don't smoke, all the damage that has been done to your body will be gone in 3 years. And man, I don't know if that pushes everybody's button so hard, but that pushed my button because I thought I had this idea in my head that it was an equal period of time if I had smoked for about 27 years. And so it would take 27 years for the damage to reverse itself. And when she told me that, she smacked me hard, and then she lifted me up, gave me hope. Man, I was convinced, and so at some point with Dr. Tan, I told her a joke, and after I told her the joke, we spent the next 10 minutes talking about why she didn't get it. And it came down to the English as a second language. She said, I know the sentence structure, and I know the words, and I know how to speak English, but I don't get metaphor. And I started cracking up, because, me, I speak in metaphor like I speak in metaphor like a river flowing rapidly with an endless supply of words. So maybe that's one reason she got through to me, because she speaks. A lot of people tell you, I'm giving you the straight talk right now, sonny. She gave me the straight talk, and with words and things that became pictures in my mind that really got through to me. So I figured, since I had the surgery scheduled for the following Wednesday, that I would have my last drunk with cigarettes. So I smoked, and I smoked, and I smoked, and that got us to, the first thing they did the next day was change the date of the surgery out as far, I've heard dates out as far as the 8th of June it was going to be postponed to. Because I kept smoking then, I woke up on the morning of the 18th in a crisis situation. And I'll end this part here, and we have now gotten me into the emergency room exam situation at Swedish Hospital in Valor. And like always, chaos and order, laptop Bob, call me anything you want. So call me later. Sign it out. I held my breath with my eyes closed.